So Katie Porter is running for California governor, and it is not going well. She is the definition of a Karen. Nobody likes her, including the mainstream media. And if you're a Democrat and you're running an election, you're running a campaign, you can't really win without the mainstream media. In any case, we have video evidence now that Katie Porter abuses her staff and her family. We're going to show that in a little bit. And that also comes in the wake of a newly released CBS interview with her, which did not go well. Porter has asked some very normal, chill questions, and she melts down because she's a very angry shrew. It's very clear to see that from this video. This is the full, unedited video of the whole confrontation. Take a look.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election? Yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. Mm-hmm. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't think
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
argumentative. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered our follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of, I'm me, I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question.
We have to be very clear about this. She is talking right now to her best friend, the best friend of all Democrats, the mainstream media, and she still cannot answer basic questions. None of those questions were difficult. Those were very normal. She is running to be one of the most powerful people in the world. The 5th biggest economy in the world is California by itself. Those questions were very simple, and she freaked out because these people want to be tyrants. They do not want to be leaders. They do not want to be public servants. Katie Porter is a child tyrant who does not want to be questioned. It's very clear from that video that that is true. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. We have a video that just came out this week of Katie Porter verbally abusing a staffer. It is not pretty. It's something that we've heard she's done in the past, but we've never really had actual evidence. Now we have video evidence. For context, in this video, she's being interviewed, not live, but by a journalist, about clean energy subsidies, and her staffer kind of steps into frame and gets lit up.
So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Perfect.
Okay.
Your new governor of California, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you spoke like that to me. For those who are just listening, I'm punching the camera. You're gonna get bopped in the face a little bit, and I think that girl, I don't know where she is now. I hope she doesn't work for Katie Porter, because I think that does qualify as verbal abuse 100%. We have confirmation, by the way, that it was not the staffer that leaked the video. We don't know who did it, but we do know Politico broke the story. She doesn't just abuse her staffers, by the way. This is according to the Florida Jolt. She has abused her former husband as well as her kids. Again, the Florida Jolt, they say this. According to divorce records, the ex-husband of Rep. Katie Porter, 49, said the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and threw toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage. This is the good part, guys. The abuse went much further in one instance, as she allegedly poured scalding hot mashed potatoes on his head during a fight. I've looked up this man. He's bald. So, guys, that would be painful. Hair, yeah, like the mashed potatoes have something to hit first. This is a bald man who was scalded by mashed potatoes. And I just have to say for a second, this is so freaking random. You know it's true. You know this actually happened, because who would make something like this up? It's too crazy not to happen. And frankly, what it reminds me of, if you guys remember from a few years ago, is when we heard that Amber Heard was asked basically in the trial between her and Johnny Depp if she pooped on Johnny Depp's pillow. And it was confirmed that she did. It's like, it's too crazy to not happen. If that's asked in court for all of the world to see, you know it actually happened. That's just too crazy to make up. Anyway, they continue. Porter's ex, Matthew Hoffman is his name. You can look him up, very bald, who filed for divorce from Porter in 2013, said in a request for a restraining order dated April 30th, 2013, that he was routinely called an effing idiot and effing incompetent by Porter, who also shattered a glass coffee pot on their kitchen counter in March 2012 when she felt their house wasn't clean enough. Your new governor of California, ladies and gentlemen. So politics aside for a second, I don't care. I don't care about the Democrat, Republican stuff. Obviously on the show, we talk a lot about Democrats because I think they're crazy. Frankly, we talk a lot about Republicans as well when they're crazy. It doesn't matter. We can get out of the politics for a second. Putting the politics aside, you don't get to treat people like that and be a leader. You just don't. I don't care what your party is. And frankly, people ask me a lot, right? Why do you like Donald Trump? Because, I have my disagreements with Trump mostly on a lot of fiscal and economic policy. But for the most part, I really like Donald Trump. You know this if you watched the show before. The reason why I like him is because he is stern. He is scathing even at times with his enemies, but he's not verbally abusive. I've never seen that from him. And he's certainly never been verbally abusive from anything we've seen to his family. I think that's very evident from the relationship that you see in the Trump family. If he did that and we had evidence of it, I would frankly lose a lot of respect for him, because I just think that is so unacceptable, just on a human level, politics aside. So Katie Porter's politics aren't any better, even politics aside. Katie, her normal conduct is horrible, but her politics are horrible too. A lot of people forgot about this clip. It went viral when the election happened, back when Trump won. She made a shocking admission about what she teaches her children and how her daughter reacted to Trump winning. Take a look.
So on election night, I went to pick up my daughter from water polo practice, and she's 12, and she got in the car and she was crying. And I said, did someone punch you? Like, water polo is a rough sport. I was like, did someone hit you? Did the coach yell at you? What happened? And she said, Mom, Trump won. Trump's gonna win. And what if I get and I need to have an abortion? This is from a 12-year-old, my 12-year-old daughter. And so it was really a reminder of how scary this time is for people, and how important it is for Democrats to have strategies, both at the state level and the federal level.
I'm sorry, that is not normal at all. 12-year-olds shouldn't know what that is. I, at 12 years old, had no idea what an abortion was. And they shouldn't know. They don't need to be political. And notice the concern, by the way, from Katie Porter in that video. The concern is not, in this hypothetical, that her daughter get sexually assaulted. That would be the concern. I mean, as a father, that would be my concern. But what her concern was that her daughter, would not have the right to murder her then grandchild in the womb. That was her big concern. That was a big concern of her daughter. And again, she has learned that from her mother, Katie Porter. How about we just focus on the kids not being assaulted? That's a fair political statement. That's a fair political thing to say. Hey, I'm worried about that for my children. There's pretty much nothing more important than that. But to teach your child that the thing that they need to be most concerned about is if they're assaulted, it's not the assault part that you should be worried about. It's that you need to have the right to be able to murder your child. That is what Katie Porter has taught her children. Again, your new California governor, ladies and gentlemen, don't do this, California. This is my plea to you. I love California. My family is actually from California, has deep roots there. It's a beautiful place. I understand that California is a Democrat state through and through. There are more Republicans that live there than any other state, so I'm not saying it's all Democrat, but at the end of the day, it is a hard blue place. I understand that. I believe in federalism, which means that states get to decide what they do. And if Democrats want to take over that place, and if the people there want to keep electing horrible Democrats, that's their prerogative. I get that they don't believe in conservative values, but you don't have to vote for an abusive Karen who won't even answer basic questions. Just the same way you didn't need to elect Gavin Newsom, who's a horrible snake and subjected you to tyranny during COVID while he enjoyed all the freedoms that he wanted to as a rich dude in his nice mansion in Sacramento. You don't have to do this again. I think you're better than that. I think you are. I think you're better than that, but we will find out. The progressive left is a cult. I talk all about it in my book, A New Cult. Go check it out right now, guys. It's on sale on Amazon, only $9.99. I talk about some crazy stories about the left that I frankly can't talk about because of big tech, but it's all there in the book. Go check it out right now. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this episode, everybody. Please like the video so other great patriots like yourselves will see it, and you can tune in every single weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show, or you can watch another video right here.